Oh, sorry. Oops. It was only my leg. I'm crippled for life. Well, hello, everybody. Hello.
Hello.
I'm me.
And he's him.
Stephen. And Judd. Hi, how are you?
A very welcome. A warm welcome.
A very welcome.
Shut up. I'm just going to have a cup of tea and let him do the talking.
Hello, everybody. How you doing? It's me, Paddy from across the shock. And look, let's get the big red herring out of the window. There isn't a Mrs. Paddy sitting here. She took a panic attack about 6 o'clock. I didn't realize she was so wound up. She had a headache this afternoon. She took a panic attack, and when she gets a bit uptight because she'd had a stroke, her speech starts to go, and then she just panicked. Then she was letting everybody down. So she was sent into the front room. We Judd's been in and seen her. She's fine now, but we'll get her on another time. Sorry for those who wanted to rib me and take the mickey out of me, because I know that's what was going to happen.
It's probably just as well, guys, because sometimes seeing behind the curtain is not the best thing. Yeah. I mean,
she hit it on a cupboard door.
So it's best to keep a little bit of mystery, if nothing else. But hopefully, we'll talk to Sally another time.
We will. But if my friend Tom at Night the Lights Over, she'll still bring me and Judd a cup of tea in through the night. So don't be getting too jealous or annoyed. His wife won't do it for him. He has a wee belly, right? He set this wee bell up the top of his stairs. His basement's where he does his reviewing, and he had a bit of string all the way down, and he was ringing the bell, and she wouldn't do it. Oh, he had me in tears. She's a lovely woman now, but he had me in tears.
Well, that's an interesting approach, you have to say.
I'm thinking of getting one myself now, but I'm going electronic. I'm not going old school.
Oh no, it'll be like a doorbell, doorbell thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. The with my wife, the only way it would work is if she actually linked up a taser to me, and then she would be buzzing me. But I'm thinking that would be the only way that would work.
Have we got any people in?
I don't think there's anybody in yet. Still,
have we definitely gone live?
Well, let's double check, shall we? We'll double check and see if it's actually working.
Now, we're going to depend a lot on you tonight. Well, no point telling you because you're not here yet.
Yeah, we're live. We are
live,
actually
and there's nobody on there.
No, we've got 15 watching on this.
Why have we not got that? I don't know where that's gone.
No idea. Where's the counter gone?
Don't know.
Good point. No.
Oh, don't worry, folks. As long as you're here, we don't mind how many it is. That's never been a problem.
So long as you're here, what you can do is put a wee comment in the feed for us, so we know that you're actually there.
Yes, let us know who you are.
And we'll start collating questions right from the get-go. So if you've got any questions, feed them in.
Let us chat.
Know.
Can you show chat on that? No, I have to go back.
I have to go back. For it.
Yes, please come in the chat and let us know. We're not sure. We had a wee bit of trouble getting this started tonight, but just say hello for us, and we'll get you up on the screen.
And more to the point, let us know that we're actually making contact with the great white world over there, or white world over there.
So what we're going to talk about tonight, look, me and wee Judd can always find something to talk about. While we're waiting to see if anybody's going to contact us, can't believe we're not getting anything at all yet.
No, it's weird. We usually see a number up there. But we've got 15 watching on the YouTube feed, so something's going on. We'll
just talk as if you are there then until it comes through. I can't remember what to do.
We'll keep on going. And I mean, we are definitely live, and we'll keep going.
Okay.
I can't believe it. I forgot my 15.
You didn't.
I forgot I had it in the box ready to go, and I forgot to grab it. I can't believe that.
You wanted me to sharpen it?
I know.
You plonker.
No. What can I tell you? I'm just an idiot.
Were you working today?
Yeah. I was in Lisbon, so it was a bit of driving. Then I was at the dentist this afternoon, so
that would put me off everything. My memory goes when you talk dentist.
There's that.
I can't believe we're not getting anything through.
Oh, don't worry about it. We'll just go.
Well, it just means we've got just questions. That's all. Are they coming up? Are the questions coming up?
What we'll do is I'll put a question through on YouTube, and we'll see if that's actually comments are actually working. But
just bear with us.
We're definitely there. We're definitely.
Is there no comments on it?
Well, let's see.
There is.
I mean, we're definitely.
Oh,
We are here and trying to contact you from the great beyond, but the comments aren't coming through. Weird.
Show. No.
Bizarre.
Create banner.
Oh, maybe that's it. No. So that is. Nope. That's what we did, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's what I would have thought.
So it's not that. It's not that. Okay, we're clicking everywhere. So anyway,
chat with the studio. Oh no, we want to chat with the public.
No, that's everybody in the studio. So anyway,
well, we just leave that running quietly.
Yeah.
Will that work?
Yeah, that'll run in the background. So we've got
up against
these guys are putting them in there's the live chat. So we've got we're late evening chat. We're RJ, we were 2 minutes late. Come on, just because you're a professional. All right, fair enough. Evening, Mikey. Addicted Knives. Hello, Spiros. Spiros, you're becoming one of our real regular. Every one of these you've been on. Well done. Good evening to you. Or Calispera. Would that be it? I'm probably pronouncing it really badly, and I probably
did you hear me telling the why my wife's not on tonight?
Did everybody get the news about Sally? If somebody can just put that in.
Turn on chat. Oh, you sexy chat. Paddy loves you. Nah, it didn't work. It's the same as the bedroom, never works.
Hello all. Hi guys. I'm Ghost. Yes,
there's Mark Congerton. Nice to see you on there.
Good grief. Congy himself.
Yeah, the man himself. So sorry for that bit of a delay. What are we going to talk about to start with? He's got the chat.
Well, maybe no, it's still kicking. We're still not getting the comments through for some reason. So let's see.
Oh, do you know I had us on the double one? No. What's the one that I had it on? I have one on that. I think I hit that one at one stage.
No, we're still on that one, so it should be fine. It should be just coming in here at the bottom.
Private chat.
No, that's it. You keep on talking. I'll see if I can get it sorted.
Right. So, what can we talk about? Well, let's get started. I'll show you what I was doing today. As you know, look, when I get knives, if they're in micarta and things like that, after a while I mightn't like the micarta color, which is why I always go for a light color first, so that I can rip dye them. And I had a wee go this afternoon. Justin had asked me to rip dye one of his new Jack Wolf knives that he had got, and he wanted to go navy blue. Now his was the black micarta, but it's the Jack Wolf knife black micarta isn't really black when you first start it. Obviously your finger paws will change it back, but he wanted his to be blue. So I picked a color blue, and this is how it came out, which I think is super. It's come out like a royal blue. Would you say? Yeah,
absolutely.
It's a royal blue. It came out really quite even on both sides, and I think it's lovely. This is the Vampire Jack, and I think it looks absolutely super in that blue. Really goes with the grey of the titanium bolsters. So I done that for him, and then while I was there, I thought, oh, that looks good. I had an Ace Farley.
You couldn't see green cheese. You see, he had to do it himself as well.
I had an Ace Farley in green micarta, which was getting a bit mucky with my hands, and I decided I would do it. I think this knife looks better in the blue than it ever done in the green micarta. It has come out lovely. I really am enjoying it today, I have to say. So that was lovely. I believe, go and check Framer Knives, but I think they've got a denim micarta, one of these. If it's not there yet, it's coming in denim micarta, which I think will look fabulous.
Very nice.
Now that I've seen this in blue. But I really do think it actually makes it a more elegant looking knife. Sometimes I'm not, if micarta gets really dirty, you either like that look or you're working and you don't care.
Well, especially the natural colored ones, and the sort of beige, creamy colored ones, they tend to get even a wee bit grubby looking.
Yeah.
The more heavily colored ones, I think, can wear.
The green's not too bad. It's not as bad as the light, but I have to say that really did come out lovely. I'm really impressed with myself. I don't often say that because I'm not very often impressed with myself. Well,
we've got a couple of questions in already, and the first one, bearing in mind that we've already made the announcement about Sally and Mrs. PPP. Ken Harmon wants to know how often Mrs. PPP gets a present of a knife.
How often does she get a present of a knife? I don't think she's ever actually had. Oh no, she had one present of a knife, which was a real fancy little one. I can't even think of the name. It's shaped like a wing, like a butterfly type wing. You know, it's a fancy shape. It was all the rage a few years ago, and one of my subs in America sent her that over as a present. But when I get her knives, it's usually I get a knife. I think she'll like that. I'll show it to her. If she says, "Oh, that's lovely," I said, "That's yours." Because there's no point trying to make my wife carry something if she doesn't like it, and you learn that being a husband. So, so that's the way she's got it. She's about 5 knives she uses now. I know she's ready for tonight, but I'd rather leave that to maybe if she does come on again, will not spoil the act for her, if you like. She'll show you them when she comes on, which I'm sure she will eventually.
Hopefully that answers the question, Ken. It was a good one to kick us off with.
Yeah, really good.
Now we're going straight from that, a family question, to technical question. Proplast82 or 82nd wants to know, did Jack Wolf knives have washers?
Does Jack Wolf knives have washers? Jack Wolf knives have washers.
They do?
Yeah.
There you go.
I think. It's that long since I've seen it, but I can help you solve the problem. After this podcast is over, go to Jack Wolf Knives on Instagram
Worldwide.
And worldwide,
Instagram,
whatever, and go to his, you know, he has videos all set up, and he took a Jack Wolf Knives apart. Now, the reason I'm saying yes, that was nearly a year ago, and I haven't looked inside one. Being a slip joint guy, and I know these are modern slip joints, being a slip joint guy, I know I don't have to take my knife apart. Do you know what I mean? There's no need for me to take it apart. And I can't believe that he would put, oh, that's not a Jack Wolf. Oh, there's a Jack Wolf. This is another one that I writ down for myself.
And now I've got 2. Yay!
No, because I have a strange feeling that there's little washers of the inset. I can't remember. I watched it so long ago.
Oh no, that rings a bell.
I think they were they set back. I'm not sure. Look, go over to his webpage, and he has a video on taking one apart. But what was I saying? Oh yes, it's what?
And that's it begins.
And what I'm saying is, being a slip joint guy, you don't take slip joints apart unless there's a fault. I think it's more of this modern era when you put ball bearings in that you have to check that they're really clean.
Yeah.
I never take mine apart. I've had them for years. And until there's a problem, it gets sluggish or slow, then I will take a modern knife apart. But I've never had a problem that I can't blow out with a bit of air. You know, just get the air tube in, give it a good blow, run it under a cold tap. I just open it up like this, put it under the cold tap and whack it on as fast as I can. And that it has always cleared any problems out. So if that's the answer you want, I would never take a Jack Wolf apart, because Ben said, if you don't really have to, never take a Jack Wolf apart. That's good enough for me. He made it, you know what I mean? I don't have
everything else I come across to do with slip joints. Nobody's got a problem taking locking knives apart, but nobody likes taking a slip joint apart, because it's so difficult to get them back together again.
But it's the blades, it's the spring
tension on the back, yeah.
And if you've got a knife like Jack Wolf, who he's designed and made specifically to have that stiffer back spring than most knives, not all knives, but most knives, it is very difficult to get it back in again and get the tension correct. It's a real tricky job. And if you see his video, you'll see why I would never think about it. And to be quite honest, if it's broken, yes, I'll take it. Or if I do something I've got something jammed in it, or I know there's sand or something, I would have a go. I'll get his video, watch it, and do it exactly how he does it. So that was as full as I can get that answer to be. Killing time, big man. Killing time.
I mean, that was way more than we actually needed. I think the answer is probably yes, but go and look it up on Google it. Google it. There you go.
There might be somebody in here who's taken one apart that could maybe answer that in the region. So if you've taken one apart and you're in here, and you're not in a mental hospital because you couldn't get it back together, just let us know.
I've got a good one here for you. This will get you just flowing. Mikey Newman wants to know, in your opinions. Oh, he's asking me too. Oh, apparently I'm allowed an opinion. Not in this room, Mikey. No. I'm just basically.
He's the brains.
I'm the eye candy of this podcast, all right? Believe me, it's in short supply.
You've got short supply of everything. Go ahead.
You call me short?
No,
Is that what you're doing?
No, you're just a supply.
Oh, right, gotcha. Okay, fair enough. Mikey, in your opinions, what are the best and rough and toughest UK legal slip joints for around 50 quid? He's currently using a Lansky worldwide legal, which pretty much everybody will know.
At one stage, yeah. Look, to be honest with you, that Lansky is a big lump of a knife, and yes, it's rough and tough. But do you want to have it in your pocket? Was my answer. I've had one, and there's nothing wrong with it. It'll cut. Under 50.
Under 50.
Tough would have to be. That's a good one. Yeah, that's a really good one. There's a Rough Rider. This is a little Rough Rider Warncliffe. Look at that beautiful knife. It's in denim micarta. It is beautifully done. 440A, which is absolutely fine. Will do anything you'll want to do. This is a great rough knife. It's well built.
I think it's PG-10, that one. Can't remember.
I wouldn't have thought of 440A. I think the original ones, but I have one of the.
That's PG-10, not a new one.
You're not. You're talking twiddle.
I'll check that up.
Well, maybe they've brought another one out.
Well, I only got it last year.
They've got VG10 on their aluminium ones, and I didn't think they'd spread them onto them.
Onto those,
because that's special about the aluminium ones.
Gotcha.
Could be wrong. It has happened.
This is what happens when I start voicing an opinion, folks.
There is one that costs about £60, and that again, it's this exact same knife, with just the only difference with this is it's got an easy open notch in it. There we go. There's the two of them together. It's got an easy open notch, and it's in D2, which if you're going to use a work knife, I would go for the D2 before 448, simply because these are great. These are great in 448, and they'll work for EDC use. But if you're going to hard use, which I think that's what he's trying to get at, hard use,
tough knife.
I would go for the D2. It's tougher and lasts you longer. So that's two great options, depending on what you want.
I mean, if you want a knife that will keep on kicking, but the steel isn't that great, you can't go far wrong. You can't go wrong with a Swiss Army knife. Now, this isn't 50 quid. But because it's one of the special editions, but this is an Alox version of the Swiss Army knife. It's one of the Pioneer stable, and you can get a Pioneer, which is a 4-bladed knife with a good Alox, which is an aluminium oxide frame, which is really solid and weighty, and will basically it'll cut through everything. Stephen has the Alox Solo, I think, floating around somewhere.
It's way in that bottom
it's way in the bottom, which is really just, it's the simplest one of these. It's a single bladed slip blade or slip joint in the Swiss Army knife, but with the full Alox frame. And I think you can get that off Amazon for about 27 quid. And it is a cracking single bladed knife. It really is. If all you're looking for is a single bladed knife that you're not afraid of abusing.
I've got a couple more here, because this is a question that you get asked an awful lot with people. There's the
Ginsey.
There's the twisted assisted Ginsey, which is about £60. And I know it's £10 over what you said, but this is a fantastic knife. It's a slip joint, but it's got that forward choil. So when you're up here on this knife, you have so much power, and it's never going to close on you because your finger's in the closing method. This is in just D2. I have the wrong glasses on for reading.
Yes,
D2. Yeah, I'm sure it is D2. Let me just, D2. This is in D2. Is a great choice. Here's another one. This is the QSP Hedgehog. Great name. QSP Hedgehog. Let me get that over there. This is also another super knife, and as a work knife, probably out of them all, although it's got this funny little kick up at the front here, as just an out-and-out work knife, it's a nice hollow grind on a very thin hollow grind. So maybe not for twisting, but if you just want to pile through stuff, this is great, but maybe not for the twisting. That's probably the best all-around one that I can think of.
It's a beautiful
UK,
knife.
the Ginsey is beautiful. Knife.
What I would say about it is that the blade shape is a wee bit shorter than you might need, but it is a wee bit.
Yeah, look at you. I mean, measurements here.
If you want tough, that's the one. It'll keep on cutting and it's brutal.
I'm surprised. The cutting edge is 2.5 inches on that, which is, that's as long as most UK.
As much as you need.
It is, it is. It's long enough. So there's a couple of options. I hope that's helped you. If not, come back to us because I can always find more.
Yeah, we've got a couple of suggestions in here as well. We've got the Aptos, the blue denim Aptos, the Wasp, the Manly Wasp.
Yes, fantastic life. I'm actually thinking of getting another one of those.
Because you had one,
I had one,
And then Paul 13, our other local brother, knife brother around the corner, is a Boker XS.
Boker XS, great knife.
Yeah.
Great knife.
It's a really meaty one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good, solid, performing knife.
And I mean, if you want a solid knife that sort of compares probably to the Lansky, but looks so much better and is better performance-wise, I think the Boker XS would probably
Boker XS is a great
blow
knife,
it out of the water.
I think it's in 440C, which is another upgrade in steel.
Yeah.
Now, D2's a bit better than 440C, but it's a good meaty knife. If you're going to batter a knife, give it a good hard time, the Boker XS is a great choice.
It's a good choice.
Most of them are pretty good.
The thing about it is you've got lots of choice.
Yeah.
You do have lots of choice. And this is the danger. Actually, who was saying here? Yeah, from RJ's Knives. Good advice and a nice little warning. Be careful if you get into Alloc sacks, it could start an addiction. Okay, but I think that yes, definitely. I think that counts for just about every knife that you buy. If you go down that rabbit hole, you'll end up getting another one because this one just leads you to the next one.
It's funny. There's a strange thing. Like I went mad, as you all know. I bought about 40 sacks in the space of about 6 weeks. I went completely bananas. And I've actually stopped. I haven't bought one in quite a while now. And it's not because I've gone off sacks. I love the ones I've got. But I think I needed time to settle into what sacks were because I didn't like them. Then I loved them. And it was as simple as that. Had one or two, went mad, had 40.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm still getting used to them and enjoying them.
And do you remember if you... The money you spend on 10 knives is probably what you could have spent on the one good knife that'll last you in your entire life, kind of thing. That kind of quality or whatever else.
But it doesn't matter how many of that kind of quality you get, you'll always still want another one.
Okay.
It's one of those aggravating, look, if you go back in my channel, if you've got mental stability on your side, go back and watch my videos from the start till now. You'll swear I'm a completely different person who has not got full faculties at all because I've changed that many times through the 6 years that I've been on here. I've changed to different knives. I'm definitely never buying them again. 6 months later, after I bought a lot of knives that I now don't like, I'm buying them again. It would drive you insane, but in a good way. It's not a bad way. As long as you're not buying and getting yourself in debt. That's my one big thing. Because so many people get in debt over this hobby, and it's really sad because some of them get into, serious debt, and that's not worth it. Well, it's only a hobby.
Well, it's funny you should say that. Yeah, because I've spent my allowance this month. Okay, so here's what happened, right? So the last week or so since the last podcast, anyway, I went down the rabbit hole, and we all know. I think we all know what that means, all right? So I went down the rabbit hole, and first of all, I came across and got a hold of a nice little GEC 15 that I stupidly forgot to bring because Stephen was looking forward to seeing it because he loves a wee 15.
I've had that knife, and I haven't had it for years, and I just loved it.
It's a cracking wee knife. It could do with a wee bit of work on the grind, but it was a good knife, and it was a good purchase, good deal. And the guy who sold it to me, Andy Edwards, is on the Facebook Knife Sales website. He's a cracking lad, and if you ever get the opportunity to buy from him, he is
315s.
I can't recommend him highly enough. But that's pretty much the same as mine. Mine's the spear point. I think that's
doesn't have an easy open.
It doesn't have an easy open.
But it's that boy's knife.
Yeah, and it's just a lovely form factor, and it's a beautiful little knife in, I think it's green micarta.
Yeah.
And it's one of the ones that comes with the chain, the baling chain. Now I don't think I'll use the baling chain.
I'll take it off for you if you want.
No, it's already off. It was never attached.
Yeah.
So, but it's a lovely knife. So that was I'm getting distracted by the beauty of the knife itself. That was the start of, that was the opening of the rabbit hole. After that, it started basically going worse. Okay.
What have you got?
Right. No. Well, it's all about the journey, Stephen. It's about the journey.
The boy's in trouble.
Because of course, after it got to 15 and was looking forward to getting it, I started looking at other knives, and I saw a few other bits and pieces. And there was a guy who was selling his entire collection of Swiss Army knives. Now, everybody who knows us from before knows that I'm a sack guy, and I started collecting sacks. And I just went to have a look at the collection just to see if there was anything that.
When you went to have a look at it, he lives local?
No,
on the internet. All right, yes.
Actually, he lives down in Dublin, so it's not that far away. But honest to God, did I get sucked in? Did I get sucked in hard? And I started with Alox because he had a fantastic collection of Alox. He had Old Cross Red Alox. He had Farmer X's. He had special edition Alox covers. He had a beautiful green Alox Pioneer with like a relief pattern on it. You know, the kind that you get on the Leatherman special edition. I can't remember the surges. They come with a relief kind of pattern on the tool itself. Absolutely gorgeous. Sucked in completely. Was willing to, was about to remortgage the house, buy everything, and I was selling hundreds of these things. Get sucked into it.
I know who that is.
Yeah, you probably will. But every time I kept on going back to him and asking about the knives, he'd already sold it, had already gone. So all of the Aloxes that I was looking at were gone. And then he flashed up a picture, and I recognized the knife in it. And it was an 84mm Golfer. Now, if anybody knows the Swiss Army knives, they will know that an 84mm with scissors, never mind an 84mm Golfer, is like a unicorn. And I was sucked in hard. I was this close to biting to getting it.
Is the same fella one of those, he doesn't drop in price?
No, he'll do a deal on multiple knives.
Yeah,
and he will do a little bit of going from euros to pounds. He's not bad, but he's looking collector's prices.
Yeah,
because he knows his stuff.
I believe his wife does it as well.
Oh, does she?
She's in. If it's the same person I'm thinking of,
he's called Cody Jack. Really nice guy, Cody Jack, and he's on the Swiss Army Knives Collectors. Nice guy. He put up with me going back and forward to him endlessly. I must have driven him absolutely up the wall. But a lovely guy, and I mean, he sells regularly on the Swiss Army Knives or Collectors Forum on Facebook.
That's not who I was thinking of.
No, a decent guy, and he was asking decent prices for them. But it's the fact that they were available. I hadn't found them before. So anyway, that was my trip down the rabbit hole, but because I said no to the Golfer, but on the way back out of the rabbit hole,
there's always a burrow somewhere.
I bought a Spyderco Chaparral, and I'm also about to pull the trigger on a Case Tony Bow's back pocket as well. So,
and they were cheaper than the ones you were going to buy. So the Chaparral I really like. I don't know, many times I've had a Chaparral in my basket and never pulled the trigger. And I don't know why, because it's a beautiful looking knife.
And I've gone for the Raffir Noble one.
Yeah,
which
that's really,
well, it's not new. It was a second-hand one, but it was just a really good deal. And I've been looking at it for maybe 4 or 5 months actually. But
but I even like them in their basic form. I thought they were just a really lovely knife.
So anyway, yes, that was my trip down the rabbit hole, Stephen. I'm not sure if I'm out of it.
He's spending more than I am, but it's just not fair. Well,
he started it.
That's close.
He started it. Yep.
I'll have to say now, I'm just going to go back to this. I think, I get nothing for this. I bought this out of my own money from Moonraker. I've no affiliation whatsoever, but it's the tactile turn that I showed last week. I flipping love this knife. Look how thin that is. It is just a little diamond. I think it's See, I'm in tracksuit bottoms most of my life. When I go out, I put jeans on. So let me just turn this on. I've forgotten what the weight it is. I think it's 1.2 or something. No, 1.8 ounces. The same weight as a bug out. Yeah, and this is titanium. Do you know what I mean? So
it's next to nothing, really.
It's nothing for an all metal. It's just.
It is a cracking one.
I am having. So you see, for about the house, I was talking the other day. Most of my cutting is slicing, opening up a package, opening up a letter, opening up a steak wrapper. It's just that's what I do most of the time. Cardboard, yeah, I do that, but I have lots of other knives. I would use this. I wouldn't have a single fear. It's not that it's weak feeling, is it? It's not.
No. And for such a thin, slim knife, it really
feels,
is comfortable,
doesn't it? It's
really
amazing because if you've ever had a Higo Nakami in your collection, or one of those little thin bent over knives, they're so uncomfortable when you go to cut.
Yeah. No,
this is the reason.
No. So we've been off center.
It is. No, I did say that when I got it. I have to say that was the one thing. But you see the thought of sending it back and having to do all that nonsense, it doesn't bother me that much. I mean, I've always said that it doesn't bother me that much. As long as it's not touching, I don't mind. There's you can see, I don't know if you can see it.
Oh, there,
it is off to the left. Can you see it? Yeah. It's off to the left-hand side, but it's nowhere near touching. And because it's that side of the knife where your nail nick is, you're pulling away from the close side. So it doesn't bother. Is it a dear knife? Yes, it was 200 quid. But now that he's made me feel bad about my knife, it's just gone. It'll be on sale next week.
See what I mean? This is what happens when I voice an opinion. All of a sudden,
I've got to sell my collection.
All of a sudden, he throws the toys out of the pram. Oh, hang on a second. You have to sell your collection?
Yeah.
Use your friends and family?
I don't have any other friends like you.
You could have just stopped at friends.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, what have we got in the chat? I'm just doing a quick consultation of the chat here. It's really weird because I'm watching this on my phone and it's about 30 seconds behind. It's
keep going. Stop talking for God's sake.
Sorry. We've got lots of people in. We've got Tony's Ponies in. We've got Jersey in. We've got Michael Newman in. We've got Prop Blast, Dean P, Randy's WSG, whatever the hell that is.
Well, what is WSG? What does he say?
That's just his
WSG is his handle. Just his handle. Oh my God. He's down with the kids.
I was watching Maverick the other day, so what can I tell you? We've got Fitz. We've got RJ's Knives. We've got Paul 13. I'm just looking for that. You have to get it out of your pocket. Yeah, Jersey was saying that Neves Knives put up a Tucson slip joint review yesterday.
I've seen it. Yeah, the white bone with the scrimshaw on it.
Yeah.
I haven't got one. I've not had one, but I would get one if they were available. The trouble is with Tucson, I know in the States you can now get it, but if I order a Tucson, I have to order it via China, AliExpress. And then you've got that weight, which I don't mind the weight, but now the customs and that are starting to stop all the AliExpress packages, which they never used to do. So it could be 3 months and then they'll stick a charge on top of it to come through. And it makes them nearly impossible to buy. I just can't be, I can't.
Yeah. It's a pity actually, because Tucson, if I remember rightly, Tucson are the ones that come up with some really original designs. Weird and wonderful in the day, but it would be nice if Tucson managed to make that transfer that Ganzo and maybe Sanrin Mu went, so that Moonraker and other carry them.
I think somebody just needs to pick them up.
Yeah.
And maybe if you've got a supplier that you like, it's just say to them, any chance you're getting some Tucsons? Because I mean, White Mountain Knives is doing a hell of a trade in America. For all of a sudden they've come up.
No, keep on talking.
Yes. White Mountain Knives, for those of you in the States, are doing a great trade in Tucson knives now, and you don't have that weight, and you don't have that fear of coming through customs and not getting through. So yeah, that's why I haven't been buying too many knives from. I did buy one last year, which was the QB. I bought it from AliExpress. But I think some of the companies here, I'm maybe going to start doing it and give Moonraker a ring and see if they would do Tucsons, because they do quite a lot of slip joints for here in the UK, but they also do an awful lot of knives that are legal here in the UK to own, which most of my locking knives, they just have to be legal to own because we can't take them out. And that doesn't stop me buying them. If I see something I like, I'll buy it. There's no doubt about it. But
we've got a few more people. We've got Jason, Jason, late, early, doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
You're very, very welcome. Gonzo, good to have you in the room.
Did you tell them we have them up now?
Yeah, no, but
No?
we do. No, I haven't.
We've got they've come up all of a sudden from nowhere. I don't know what happened. It's his fault.
We've got Thrifty in it.
Hello, Thrifty.
And Paul Joseph Bugle. And who's saying, there we go, there's a comment on it. He's got the Tucson slip. It's an unusual blade, but a great cutter. So Tucson are playing to their usual strengths. Absolutely.
I mean, I've had some. I still have, I don't have many now, but I have. The one that I've kept through all of it was one that I got years ago. And I don't know if you've seen that one. Oh,
yes, that one, yeah.
This is titanium. It's dark wash titanium. Beautiful pattern on this. So well milled. Look at that for a clip. For, a knife that only cost, I think it was about 50 quid or something when I bought it. Yeah. Titanium. No, it wasn't 50. It was cheaper than that. And then look at that blade. Look at that that is a pirate's knife. If I ever seen one, let me just get my hand up there. It's not great.
It's just fantastic.
It's a super blade.
It's a real fantasy knife.
It really is. But by God, it works. You see with this recurve,
yeah.
See if you're cutting rope or even boxes, it just goes straight
through.
And there's no deviation of the knife, and it kicks it in there.
Really strong.
The tip is strong. This, I thought this is not, it's a compound grind, but this is slightly, if anything, just a wee bit slightly hollow grind. But this is a flat grind here at the top.
Yeah, you can actually see the line. You might not see it on. Yeah, it's a real spear.
You can see the line there. Yeah, there you go. You can see the line on. But I mean, this was really cheap when it first came out, and its action on it is
it's incredible.
It really is lovely.
Gonzo's saying he'd hate to have to sharpen that blade though.
Oh, it's easy with the Lansky turnbox. Oh, where are we? Do you think you were getting a kiss?
I should be so lucky.
I should be so lucky.
Don't make him sing, please, God, don't sing.
The wee Lansky turnbox. I don't know if you've ever had one of these. They're about 20 odd pound, not that dear, and you can get the diamond stones, and on the other side it has the ceramic stones. They're round, so they'll do any blade that's awkward, and all you're doing is holding the knife straight and following down. Hold the knife straight, and you just repeat that, and it sharpens anything up. And then, of course, a wee quick strop doesn't do anything of harm.
Absolutely. And we've got another satisfied customer, Stephen, that Fra Ross, who was in with us last week, and we was asking the question about the Wharncliffes. He went ahead and pulled the trigger on the denim Wharncliffe. And I hope you're happy with it, Fra. So
yeah, really, yeah.
Because it is a cracker. I mean, we just had it out there a wee bit earlier, but it is a cracking knife. Or it is there, in fact. It is a lovely wee knife.
And the next time, if you fancy an upgrade, there is an upgrade, the Rough Rider Reserve. Yeah. If you go up, there's a D2 model in my Carta, which is beautiful as well.
Okay, now here's a question for you, because I love giving Stephen this question. Because
I can't read that far away, so it's good. I don't get to see them.
He manages to get really exercised about this question. Okay, have you seen the Civivi Foldus modern slip joint in my Carta?
Civivi Foldus. No.
You know why? It's because he doesn't look at Civivi. He's got a thing.
No, I don't look at a whole lot of these modern companies, because there seems to be a new company every week. I think there was 3 new companies that people fed into the system this week. The likes of Neves Knives and the bigger channels over there. I mean, it's their job, so they find new companies. Every week there's 2 or 3 new. I can't afford them. I mean, I don't.
I suppose that's a decent reason.
But it's not even that. I don't want to afford them. If you put enough sweeties in front of me, I'll eat them. I mean, there's no doubt about it. So I've tended not to watch all the Civivi videos and that, because I think if you've got 1 or 2 that are really good, I would move on then to another. But the trouble is, there's 3 or 4 another ones coming out every week, whereas it used to be you had 1 or.
You've said this before, though. It's almost about keeping up with the variations in the models.
Exactly. Like this year, my thing was just to replace like This is my mid-range knives. That listen to this. It's just
Sweet.
it's amazing. Look at that. That's a 70-pound knife, and look at that action. That is just ridiculous. So that is my mid-range. I've got all my wants for this year in the first 2 months.
Yeah,
that I really need. So I can afford now to be choosy on what I'm going to do. I'll certainly have a look at the Civivis, but I mean, I'm sorry, this would be real hard to follow. This is a Kaiser, and
Kaiser are knocking it out.
they
of the park
really
at the
are.
minute.
I mean, isn't that my card? I feel that my card
It's cracking, that one.
as a work knife. That noise,
It's got the most solid lockup.
Uh-huh.
And it's even got a lovely Spidey flip for kind of.
It has. It's easy to do everything. But so I've got that.
I will. I'm gonna see. I do like a Civivi because, I mean, I'm new to this game. It's newer than his Nibs here, who's been here from since the dawn of time. So I'm a big fan of the Elementum. I just think the Elementum's a cracking we have,
and that's the best model I think of it. The wood and the black.
Yeah,
I think it's so rich looking.
It is.
Let me just show it up close to them.
I would love to try the new button lock version.
Very short arms.
And like T-Rex.
Can't reach the bottom of his pocket most of the time.
It's funny that always only happens when it's my around.
So yeah, that's my favorite, and I've had one of those. I mean, it's not that I haven't had them, but I had them when they first started, and there wasn't so many. I would like what do you call Ben's new one?
The Lander.
The Lander. I fancy that one because, but you know what I'm hanging out for? To be perfectly honest, right? I have got 15, 20 locking knives now. I've cut I had hundreds, 200-ish, but I've cut down to about 15 now. I'm waiting for the likes of Lander and Civivi. Now Civivi have done, and I had the slip joint, and it was fantastic. Nothing wrong whatsoever. I'm waiting for Ben Banter to do a slip joint, and then I'll probably buy the slip joint.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
And the next Civivi non-locking knife, if that one's there, I'll take the name of that and I'll have a look at it. That he said, because when I do see a new one, I don't mind getting one and like one of Ben's, but not getting 5 or 6 of the same company. I just don't do that unless it's GEC or Jack Wolf knives.
Yeah, and they're kind of in a different realm. I mean, I know the Lander's coming in as a sort of higher end budget knife,
but it's unattainable for most people. God, you can save up for it.
I mean, that was the purpose behind the design of it. As much as anything else, to do a practical, good. I actually saw Nick Shabazz's review of it, and it was unfortunate that it wasn't the best quality knife that he was doing a review on. But
is that Nick Shabazz?
Yeah, but
I don't watch Nick Shabazz anymore.
but the funny thing was that Ben had actually commented on it and apologized for letting it get the quality control.
That's why Ben's good.
Brilliant. Yeah,
that's why Ben's good.
Yeah,
because he does it. Same as Ben and Jack Wolf knives.
Maybe
something's wrong. Yeah, they just fix them. You know, even GEC, all the good companies will have good, because it means such a lot when a lot of people are spending maybe at the higher end of their, the price range. And it doesn't matter what that higher end is; it's expensive, no matter how high it goes up to that certain person. It's just, what was that? Remember Heine's? What was that?
No, it's about bearings, I think.
All right,
where are we? I've got a couple of questions here. Yes, Tony's being persuaded about the Foldist. So, but there is, where was I looking at? Yes, I've got a question here from Prop Blast. What lube do you like best, Paddy? Keep it clean. KPL or Gunny Glide?
I've never tried Gunny Glide because, unlike everybody else, jumps ship when something new comes out. I've been with this one since I started. KPL, I like them. All of their lubes. I really only use the heavy and the regular. I've been using them for years. I've had no problems whatsoever. So I'm not even going to investigate anymore. I'm sticking with these until they don't do what I want them to do. So KPL, I stick with them.
Okay. So that answers that question, hopefully.
But sorry, can I go back?
No, go ahead.
I mean, I used to use Let me just check. Mineral oil was, yeah, that's what I used to use, was mineral oil before it all got very complicated in my head for knives. And mineral oil was really good. So I mean, you can use, and gun oil. Gun oil is also another oil that a lot of people choose to use. Oh, there's my wee darling wife, wee Sally. Thank you very
Sally.
much. Can I give you these, love? Sorry, it's like a wee waitress. See, Tom, proper wife.
Oh, you should have seen the look he got there.
Oh, come on, boys. Let you go. Let you go.
Sorry, we're being insulted by the dogs.
Go on, good boys. Good boys.
So yeah, no, Spiros was just saying that there's a Boker plus Koteka. Koteka.
Where is it? Let me see.
Here.
I can't read it there. I've got the wrong glasses on.
No, it's
hang on, I'll put the other ones on to see. Is it Quaking? No.
It's a K-O-T, Cody K.
I've not heard of that one, mate. I don't know whether it's spelled wrong or it's just something I haven't heard of. But I'll have a look afterwards.
We would definitely have a look at that one, seeing as it's a recommendation. Definitely.
Boker do make a few good slip joints now, I have to say. I do like Boker knives, full stop.
Okay. Thrifty saying that Lucas Reel oil is, I'm assuming that's oil is pretty good.
That'll be fishing reel oil.
Right.
There's watchmaker's oil, and they'll all do the job. I just like, and this is a bit silly, right?
And are they all food safe?
No.
Right.
You have to have food safe, and well, you don't have to have food safe if you're going to use them on food. Yeah, but I mean, they all work reasonably well. Mm-hmm. They're all oils and the lubricant, and one is better than none. It doesn't matter which one. Yeah. But I do think that KPL helps the action on any knife that I've ever put it on. It has just changed the action to being much better. So,
well, I don't believe any of this marketing nonsense. I'm sticking with lard.
I take a sweat from behind here, and
I'm not sure what this question means. Paddy, when are you going to do a review of BOFA?
BOFA?
BOFA? EDC season and nuts. Can you clarify that one for us? I'm not 100% sure.
BOFA.
Okay. Then we've got Hops 9. We've got some wag recommending baby oil. In a pinch.
Yeah. Lubricate your pocket.
Tom getting his Tough Glide has its moments. Carrier base that drives. Mineral oil is simple and looks great and it's safe. Yeah. I agree, Jersey. I'm the idiot who still pays through the nose for the tiny little bottle of Victorinox oil. Because I'm never sure which one to get. But now that I know that Stephen's got a big bottle of it, I'm just going to come bring it back and refill.
Tony there, Slide Tech, he uses hops, which is a gun oil.
Yeah.
An awful lot of people in America would use hops as well. Gotcha. Even here as well, there's people here who use hops.
Well, if it's good enough for your firearms.
Yeah, exactly. And if you'll rely on your gun, why not your knife?
That's an interesting one. Would love to see a comparison video of the Rough Rider blue denim work knife and the Aptos blue denim in VG10.
That would be good if I had an Aptos blue denim and VG10.
Anybody wants to volunteer their Aptos? No. Send it through.
I don't know. Is that got the sort of reverse tanto blade?
No idea.
If it's the one that's got the tanto, the reverse tanto, I might buy that this year, and if I do, I'll definitely do a review on them. There's no doubt about it. What's the difference? Oh yeah, the Aptos is in VG10 up against the D2. Nothing much between them two steels in my eyes. Are good. The VG10 takes a more screaming and pretty edge. The D2 lasts a little bit longer, but how long depends how good the heat treat is. Is always the answer. That's always the answer to most. It's the cutting geometry and the heat treatment they go together.
I'm not getting that. I think for Aptos,
right?
We'll get a.
I think it's the blue denim. I think it's the
going.
After these nuts, both of these nuts. I can't even remember the question now.
No, when are you going to do a review on both
All right.
both of these nuts?
Look,
Okay, well done, well played. Easy nuts.
Can we ban people? I've never banned anybody.
No, he doesn't. He deserves a prize for that.
Yeah.
He deserves a
I'm
prize.
only joking.
Well and truly sucked in.
Yes,
but he is getting banned.
Yes. The Iowa makes a good lightweight oil. Yeah, it's just fishing reel oil, clockmaker's oil.
We have 40 people in. I can't believe that.
That is fantastic. Thank you so much.
We've got a lot of our usual punters, and we've got some new people in. So you're all very welcome indeed.
Sewing machine oil, another one. I've actually got a wee bottle of that too. My wife used to be a sewist, whatever they call them, a knittist.
Seamstress.
That's the chap. I knew it was in there.
First of the classical education stream.
You should go into teaching.
Too late.
You should go into teaching, definitely. I'll tell you what I got this week. And if you've been watching my channel, you've seen I got some new leather slips. This one here, let me get it up there. This one here was just stunning. It's just one of my subs. He doesn't do it for money. He makes them for himself, for his family. But what a beautiful life. And I've got my Jack Wolf knives there. What a beautiful little carry that makes that.
And it's if you look on, I think you can see it better from the inside. Hold the javelin up. It's the purple on purple kind of effect. It works really nicely.
So he sent me 4. I've shown this one on the channel. I have to do a review of the other ones. I said I would just do them once, one every now and then, because it's a long video to sit through when you're just talking about leather slips. But look at this one. Look at the color of that one. Now, what could I choose to put in there? Oh, there we go. Let me tell you, how pretty is that together? That is just stunning. I've always, what case would you put this in? There's always been black because nothing else matters. But this is just absolutely stunning around that way. Look at that for a beautiful, nice slip. I love this where you can just peel it down and get at your knife. You're not having to stick your hand in. He makes a beautiful slip. So we'll be reviewing this one this week. I'll just do a wee quick review during the video.
Excellent idea. We've got Knife to Lights in. We've got
hello, Tom.
In. Dwayne Letterman.
Dwayne, how are you, mate?
And we've got Suiseki from Cornwall and any number of other people as well. Keep sending your questions in, guys. We've got lots of comments, but very few questions. So if you've got any questions going on there, let us have them.
You missed me dancing. Somebody said, "What's going on?" You missed me dancing.
I know, RJ. That's what he said. He actually said that to her face, to Sally's face. He will pay for that. I guarantee it. I really do.
Well, I'm the boss in the house. Yeah.
Yeah.
Them guns aren't there for nothing.
In his
dreams. Oh yeah, they're not.
Okay, so what are we going to talk about?
Do you have a preferred tool brand?
Oh, sorry. Yes, just popped up again. It's been written before. To work on knives.
Do you have a preferred tool brand
to work on knives?
Do you know I have? I love the Booker, the little Booker torque bits. Got 6 bits in there. All your middle bits. The good thing about these, rather than the fancy ones, is you can get torque with these because it's a small stub. Yeah. You can get torque, which if somebody's got it Loctited, well and truly Loctited, that's what you need. Them fancy ones won't do it because you can't put that much torque and all them fancy. So I tend to just keep with a basic one. I have a couple of the wee Kershaw ones, the wee pen type ones that I use just for loosening and whatever. What else do I use? I always have
a T7 and 8 usually, or is it a T6 and 8?
Oh, that has 6 different ones. Yeah, very nice. They're in the base of it there. But oh, for goodness sake, come on! This is I'll always have a pry bar, and we've all got people who make pry bars. I'll have a pry bar. This is my wee workstation here, and I'm sort of being rude. I should actually show it because this is absolutely fantastic. This is a wee workstation that has the light across. It has a replace. You can remove and replace this leather bit in the center. It has a magnetic bit up at this end where I set this on top of. I'll always keep a pen. That I always have my little. You want to show that? Oh yeah, wee Rambler.
The wee custom brass scale Rambler.
I keep that in there for just, other screws that I might need.
Because it's got the wee Phillips head screwdriver on it. On the Rambler is worth its weight in gold, really.
And then for all other bits and pieces, I have my little Leatherman Wave kit, which has all the different bits and tools. And I have a lighter. I have an extender for I use this for most things. I mean, it's absolutely everything in it. There's also a little pry bar I keep in there. So as of a brand, no, it changes. They're all a mixture. And it's just what I think is good at the time rather than let's go with all one thing. Yeah. Now, all one thing is perfect if you can get everything you like. But over the years, you just build up different stuff.
That's the truth.
Oh, shit, that's heavy.
Okay. Okay, we've got a couple of questions. Brilliant. Have you ever had or reviewed an Emerson knife?
No. An Emerson is more... it's a very heavy duty, not that I wouldn't review one or have one, but they're a very heavy duty, very tactical, no nonsense knife. And because I like knives that I'm going to play with and fiddle with, Emerson doesn't really fit in that. Although I totally agree they are some of the best tactical, but they're expensive, some of the best tactical. Just not for me. Just not for me.
Well, I think that answers that one. Tony's Ponies wants to know when will we have the PPP monikered club knife?
That I've had to leave in the hands of Arthur Wright and Son, because that's who's going to make it. Whenever they get time to make it, I think they have a couple of orders that they have to fulfill, and it's like everything else, especially a smaller company like them. Yeah. You sort of wait in line, and I've told them that I'm not in a rush. And I say I'm not in a rush. I would like it.
Yeah.
But even design and that, it's very hard to pick the exact knife that I want. Is it going to be a spear point or is it going to be the clip point? And in my head, I think the clip point in a nice wood
is more you.
No, it's not even more you. It's a lot of what people want in a UK knife. And a lot of my subs are in the States and they like that. The UK clip point is completely different than their, their sort of Barlow. I want a Barlow. So I'll it's the new year again. I'll get on to Ashley or his dad, Michael, who I thought we would have had on by now.
Yeah.
I'll contact him tomorrow. Yeah. I'll contact him tomorrow actually and find out. I know we've got Ben next Monday. That's
right. Yeah. I'm looking forward to that.
I'll try to see if I can get for Michael the week after or something.
Well, Tony, good question. I honestly thought you were joking, but obviously his plans for world domination are moving on apace. So he will definitely. I mean, if he says it's going to be so, it will happen sooner or later.
I would love it to happen this year. It just depends how many people are going to want it. If I can get, the other thing is let me know in there if you're in here. If it was to get a moniker knife, it will be. I would like to get just a plain Barlow with a nice wood handle, maybe something like a bog oak.
Yeah.
Or olive wood. Olive wood or whiskey barrel.
Something like that.
But the only thing I'm actually going to do, I don't want to change too much about it. I'm going to get like Ashley's signature, the sign, the Arthur Wright Son. And then on the reverse side of the tang, I'm just going to get PPP and just have it as a really good knife, so that if you ever want to, it's not going to be gaudy or anything. It's just my way of getting maybe Ashley's knives out to more people, let them see in hand. So it'll be an 01 tool steel, and it'll not be a high heat treat. Don't be expecting, and this is what people tend to forget, when you're getting a traditional Sheffield made, they're using good steels. Now they can put any steel on they want, but they choose the old traditional, very easy to sharpen. And to get something to be very easy to sharpen, you don't have that high heat treat. Ashley does his heat treating by eye. Do you know what I mean? That he's just learned over the years.
Yeah, color of the steel.
Yeah,
I remember
the color of steel and that. So it'll be an 01 tool steel, but it'll certainly not be 64. It'll be in the high 50s, mid to high 50s. But it's still 01 tool steel is still a good, hard working man's tool.
Yeah. So
I'll probably get an 01 tool steel, a clip point with some sort of nice wooden handle, and just PPP on the reverse, and just have it, I'll maybe get 30 done, see how it goes. If there's more wanted, I can always order more from Ashley. So if that sounds good, let me know in the.
Well, Tony's in for one. He can't wait. Tony's ponies.
I'll get back on to him again.
We question who did the custom Rambler. Looks lovely.
Who did the custom Rambler?
Who was that? Was it? Oh God, what's their name? I can't remember. They used to be on Etsy.
Yeah.
We'll look it up and figure out.
There's actually a video on my channel of it. So if you go back in the channel, you'll find a video with that knife on it.
And they do 58 mil, and they also do full size 91 millimeter brass scales, sort of personalized with.
Well, he put PPP on that for me, yeah. But like you're talking 60 quid for a Rambler, it's not being given away.
There's the Streaming Enderman giving us felicitations, salutations, and greetings.
Who's that?
The Streaming Enderman.
Oh, very nice. Go and follow the Streaming Enderman. He has got a lovely channel. He is the most well-spoken reviewer on YouTube. He just is very politely spoken, loves his traditional knives, and he's an American. And not that that's anything wrong with on a whole, but he's just a really nice fellow, and he loves UK slip joints as well, which is why I follow him more or less.
Okay.
Oak, yeah. I think whatever I could get. I've this feeling I really fancy the
bog oak.
The bog oak.
It has been cracked the way they've been doing it.
Yeah, and plus the fact we're boggies. Another nickname from Irish is boggies because we have peat bogs all over the place. So yeah, that sort of hits home with me. It's a bit funny, it's a bit, we're boggies.
Knife Delight's awful nice to have you in.
Cheers, Tom.
Paul 13's in too for one. And Dean P will definitely want one. Slide Tech's been talking about, I think there's been a conversation going on in the background about Kershaw, Emerson, and zero tolerance knives. And Slide Tech was just saying that he likes Kershaw knives, as far as I know. There we go. Makes a variety of knives, but he prefers them by a wide margin. Interesting there. Just looking through. Guys, I know some of you are dropping off here, so thanks very much for joining in.
Yeah, it's a pleasure having you in.
Absolutely.
We're not going to go much longer now. We tend just to go about an hour and 10 minutes. And what are we at? About an hour and 2 minutes. So we've got 10 minutes. Quick questions, no problem.
Paul 3 suggesting whiskey barrel.
Yeah, I've got the whiskey barrel one, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful knife, but whether he'll have any... now, because I know he made quite a few. This is a beautiful whiskey barrel. Really good dark oak barrel, whiskey oak barrel. Beautiful.
And would you prefer the traditional wood, or would you prefer something like the dyed one that he did for your trapper? He did the dyed.
Yeah, they are beautiful, and it's a nice knife for a custom knife. But I want this knife to be one that people are going to take out and use.
Yeah.
I don't want it sitting in a corner. I just want a nice knife that they can take out that's a bit different than maybe what they carried before. A good British Barlow are the best Barlows.
Yeah.
And they definitely are. I mean, there's nothing that looks as nice as a good British Barlow, in my eyes. I mean, let me see, where have I got mine? I'll probably throw them out. Where have they gone? Are you stolen them? Yes, that could be. Where is my Barlow?
Talk amongst yourselves here.
Yes,
I try to find this thing.
Where's my good Barlow?
Slide Tech, you're skipping food for this?
Nobody leaves the house.
You really need to get your priorities straight, son.
That's not the one I'm looking for. This is a Taylor's Eyewitness Barlow. But I love the big bulbous end on our Barlows and the blade shape of our clip points, which are quite different, than most. And there's nothing wrong. I'm more American than I have British, but if I had a preference, I love our type of Barlow, and I'm going to have to wreck the house because
Thrifty is admitting to the bias, if that's what we're talking about.
Oh, completely biased. There's no doubt about it. Where is my blooming good Barlow gone? Right, there's going to be a war in this house. Oh, I know where it is.
The one drawer that you haven't opened.
Yeah. This is exactly what I sort of want to get.
Honest to God, folks, you couldn't pay me enough to do this. Just as well.
That's what I would like to get. That's just it. The basic Barlow. You can see it's a nice flared out bottom. It's a lovely, lovely Barlow. Mine's a large hand, and I have a full 4-finger grip, and it's a sturdy grip, really is. And that clip just excites me more than it should any man. It's, it's a beautiful knife, I have to say.
The Streaming Enderman says the bog oaks are an excellent choice. He's got a couple of Etrics from them.
Yeah.
Lefty's in the house. He's actually made a live.
Lefty. Holy heavens, we are. Oh, the king of patter is on. Hello, Kev. How are you? I hope you're doing well, big lad.
You're just in time for us to say goodnight, Lefty. That's brilliant timing.
Actually, while you're here, Kev, I was watching your video this afternoon on the new razor blade knife. What do you call it? And it looks amazing. It's titanium. You can actually flick it out, and you can thumb it out, and it's just got your standard razors, utility razor blades. And I forgot, I didn't see the price of it because this is going to scare me. It means I don't have to look again. What is the price of that new one? But it looked fantastic.
If you stick it in the comments, Lefty, would appreciate it.
Yeah, it was just a new razor blade, but it was all titanium, very sort of an oblong sort of shaped. And it was the best I've ever seen, but it would scare me probably the price. It's not usually my price range.
There we go. Oh, sorry. Ooh, a basic Barlow with a Lanny's clip would be a great PPP knife.
Oh, basic Barlow with a Lanny's clip.
That's from Byron.
From Byron.
And Thrifty's actually admitting that he wishes he could disagree. There are beautiful Barlows made over here. Yeah. Yeah,
they're not. They're just different. What a Kickstarter? Oh, that wasn't too bad. That's not too bad at all. That was really good price. Go over to Lefty's channel. He has a video up today on this new Kickstarter for a. I'm trying to think what you call it. Utility razor blade knife. And it's amazing looking. It's as high grade as any knife you're going to get. It was beautiful, but I didn't get to see the price. So about $150, which is, I think that's fantastic for what it was. It looks amazing, but you'll have to see it to see. See Tony talking about chisel grinds, because a lot of them other knives, the Emerson knives, are chisel grind, and like Tony says, it just flips his OCD. Because when you look
the other side,
when you look down at the blade when it's housed in the thing, it looks as if it's all off to one side. Yeah. Just never looks right. But apparently, that's the sharpest blade you can get.
Absolutely. And EDC Easy Nuts, we are not getting sucked into that one again. So stop it. Just stop it.
What did he say?
He says, do you lads in Ireland enjoy cheese from under these nuts? Now stop it.
Right.
Okay. I think that's about us ready to go, lads. Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us today. And Renee just joining us from Germany. I hope that you managed to see more than just us saying goodbye, Renee. You're very, very welcome. I hope you join us next time we're on.
I know there's definitely another one, Renee, on Monday the 13th, which is Jack Wolf Knives on. It's going to be a live this time. It's our first time doing a live with him.
With Ben,
so you'll be able to ask him questions and get the answers straight away. Like, is there washers in the Jack Wolf Knives?
Yeah, absolutely.
But yes, thank you everybody that came. Kevin, thank you so much for popping in. Tony, always good to see you. All my usual mates out there. RJ's Budget Knife Guy. You're all there. You're fantastic. I'm not going to mention you by name. Thank you very much for coming, and we'll see you next week. Goodbye from him, and it's a goodbye from me.
All the best, guys.
Take care. Bye-bye.